Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're digging into something kind of paradoxical, really. Why do some people completely change their lives with habits that are, like, tiny?
Yeah.
Almost invisible.
Yeah, tiny thing.
While the rest of us, we set these huge goals,
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions, that kind of thing, and just fizzle out. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
That big impulse just vanishes.
That's exactly it. And that gap, between the big idea and sticking with it, that's what we're really diving into today.
Right.
It's not about some massive surge of willpower. We're looking at, the difference between that flash in the pan motivation and the quiet, steady rhythm that actually works.
Okay.
Our mission here is to unpack this idea of the small mark or the small link.
Yeah.
How does that build real momentum?
And this is where, you have to be a bit skeptical. Can putting an X on a calendar or moving a paperclip, can that really be the thing that steers your whole life? It sounds almost too simple. Like, where's the effort? We're trying to find what the research calls this invisible steering wheel, the thing that keeps you on track even when you feel like stopping.
And the core finding, really the main takeaway for you listening, is that it's not about inner grit. Discipline holds up because of a system, a visual system.
Visual. Okay.
Yeah, and that whole system starts with just one tiny repeated signal, that little mark that says, done.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics then. The sources ask us a really fundamental question. If success is like a machine, what part is habit? What's its function?
Right.
But maybe the tougher question is motivation fades.
Right.
It always does after a few days or weeks. So why does discipline stick around for the people who actually succeed?
Well, it sticks around because it's not built on feeling motivated. It's built on evidence, proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, most people think they need more willpower. But the real trick is making your progress obvious, tangible.
So you can see it.
Exactly. Those little signals, the X on the chart, the marble in the jar, the paperclip moving, they drive the action because they prove that you did something yesterday. It wasn't a 0 day.
Okay, so let's talk about that paperclip example. It's pretty striking. This stockbroker, Trent Dyrsmid, in Canada back in '93.
Yeah, it's a classic. And his system was, like you said, almost insultingly simple.
Right. 2 jars.
2 jars. Jar A starts full of paper clips. Jar B is empty. After every single sales call he made, win or lose, good or bad, he just moved one paper clip from A to B.
That's it.
That's it. He wasn't tracking his closing rate or how good the call was. He was just tracking the act of making the call purely by moving the clip. One tiny win each time.
Okay, hold on. He makes $5 million in sales 18 months later just from moving paper clips. That sounds a bit much. What's really going on there psychologically?
Yeah, the skepticism is fair, but the paperclip itself isn't magic. The magic is the recording of the action right then and there. It's about the visible proof of continuity.
So it's like those other famous examples. Benjamin Franklin, tracking his virtues.
Exactly that. Or Jerry Seinfeld with his don't break the chain idea for writing jokes.
Right. The calendar with the big red X's.
Yeah. And Seinfeld famously said the goal wasn't to write a great joke every day. It was just to put an X on the calendar. Protect the chain.
Okay.
So whether it's jars or a logbook or a calendar, they all do the same thing. They make your commitment visible. Every X, every paperclip moved is like a little micro victory.
A micro victory.
I like that. And that tiny win fuels you for the next one. It makes motivation something you can actually see.
All right, let's really unpack the why, though. Why does our brain care about a tiny X or a moved paperclip?
Yeah.
What's the psychology that turns that small thing into massive change?
Okay, so there are basically 3 big principles at play here. First one, clarity leads to behavior calling behavior. Meaning, when you record the action immediately after doing it, it sort of cements it in your brain. It creates a stronger cue for next time, that chain of X's. It becomes like a signpost in your environment telling your brain, oh, right, this is what we do now.
So the visual record reinforces the pathway. It's telling your brain, this is the default action.
Precisely. Okay, second principle. Visible progress triggers the dopamine of meaning.
Dopamine of meaning.
Sounds good. Right. Our brains are wired to give us a little reward, a little dopamine hit when we see we're making progress, even if the big goal is miles away. So moving that paperclip, drawing that X, it gives you an immediate, tangible hit of, hey, I'm doing it, I'm capable. That's self-efficacy.
That feeling of competence right now, not waiting for the big payoff, I can see how that would help on, long, boring tasks.
Absolutely. It makes the grind feel worthwhile today. Which leads right into the third principle. Immediate pleasure of completion reinforces identity.
Okay, identity.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Every time you make that mark, you're casting a vote. A vote for the kind of person you want to be. I'm a writer. I'm a consistent person. I'm someone who shows up.
Ah, so each X is like putting a little deposit in the identity bank.
Exactly. And when that identity, I am this kind of person, gets stronger than the specific goal itself, the habit becomes almost bulletproof. It doesn't matter if you feel like it anymore. You do it because that's who you are. It's insulated from like emotional weather.
Okay, but here's where it can get tricky, right? If we start measuring everything, isn't there a danger of just gaming the system, focusing on the number, not the real point?
Absolutely. And that brings us straight to the biggest trap. Goodhart's law.
Goodhart's law. Remind us.
Basically, it says, when a measure becomes a target, it stops being a good measure.
Right, like focusing only on steps, maybe.
Yeah.
And ignoring diet or sleep.
Exactly. You risk optimizing the metric, the number of X's, the steps on the tracker, instead of the actual goal, which might be, say, genuine health or real learning or providing actual value.
So you end up chasing the number, not the outcome.
You do. And you have to constantly remember, the measurement is just the map. It's not the territory itself.
Map versus territory.
Use the map to guide you, but don't confuse it with the actual place you want to be. Is the number reflecting reality or just making you feel good about the number?
That's a really crucial distinction. Now, what about when things go wrong? Because life happens. You get sick, work explodes, the chain breaks, is all lost. Do you just slide back?
No, definitely not. And this is probably the most practical, most important rule for making this stick long term. The rule is never miss twice.
Never miss twice.
Missing one day. That's an accident. It's expected. Life interferes. But missing 2 days in a row, that's the start of a new habit, a bad one.
So missing once is a blip. Missing twice is a pattern.
Exactly. If you miss Monday, your only job on Tuesday is to get back on track. Do something. Restart the chain immediately. Preserve what the sources call the behavior compounding interest.
Behavior compounding interest. I like that. It's like financial compounding, but for habits.
Precisely. You don't need perfection. You just need to stop the negative momentum quickly. Minimize the damage. Get back on the horse before not doing it becomes the new normal.
Okay, the difference between a lapse and a collapse is just one extra day of inaction.
You got it.
All right, let's make this super practical for everyone listening. We've got the psychology. We know the potential traps like Goodhart's law. We know the never miss twice rule. How do we put this all together into a system that, actually works, where the habits start to run themselves?
Okay, based on the research, we can pull out 6 clear, actionable rules for designing your own system.
Let's hear them.
Number 1, one signal womb, one proof. Pick one key habit to start with. Don't try to track everything at once. Attach a really obvious physical sign to it, your X, your paperclip, whatever. And crucially, record the proof immediately when you finish, not later. Right away.
That immediate feedback loop again. Lock it in.
Exactly. Delay kills the reinforcement. Okay, second, habit stacking.
Yeah, linking the new habit to an existing one.
Right. Use the formula. After I do my current habit, I will record my proof. So, examples. After I brush my teeth, I will mark my meditation X. Or, after I put my dinner plate in the dishwasher, I will log my meal. Or, after I hang up from a client call, I will move the paperclip.
So you piggyback the recording onto something you already do automatically.
Yes, it lowers the friction dramatically. Third rule, automation.
Use S-Tech.
Wherever you can.
Yeah.
If an app can track your steps or your bank can track your spending, let it. Offload that cognitive load. Save your limited brain power for the actual doing of the habit, not the tedious tracking, if possible.
Makes sense. Let the machines do the easy counting. What's fourth?
Fourth, minimal tracking. This links back to rule 1. Resist the temptation to track 15 different things right away. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, shiny object syndrome with habits.
Right. One habit tracked consistently is far, far better than 10 tracked sporadically. Keep it simple. Keep it visible. Complexity is the enemy of consistency here.
Got it. Minimal and consistent. Okay, number 5 must be about dealing with the tough days.
Exactly. Fifth, handling emotional storms. We all have bad days. Tired, stressed, zero motivation. On those days, your job is just to do the absolute minimum viable version of the habit.
Like just one push-up or read one page.
Precisely. Maybe it's just 2 minutes of work. Maybe it's writing one sentence.
Yeah.
The absolute key, the safety net is do not create a zero. Never let a day end with nothing.
Don't break the chain, even if the link is tiny that day.
Exactly. Even 1 minute is a win because it keeps the identity vote going and prevents that zero. Okay, and the last one, number 6. Measure the right thing.
Back to the map and territory idea.
Yes. You have to constantly ask, Is this metric really measuring what I care about? If the scale isn't moving, but your clothes fit better and you have more energy, maybe weight isn't the best metric right now.
So maybe track energy levels or sleep quality or how focused you feel.
Right. Track something that reflects actual progress towards the real goal, like health or skill or knowledge, not just a number that looks good on paper. Is the map still useful for navigating the territory you want? So, wrapping it all up, the big takeaway really is this. Goals point you in the right direction, sure, but it's the system that actually generates the momentum to get you there.
And that momentum is built piece by tiny piece, by those little marks, those visible traces.
That's the engine, paying attention to those small proofs of completion day after day.
It feels like most people are just waiting around for some huge wave of motivation before they start anything big.
Yeah, waiting for inspiration.
But what we've learned here, what you listening now know, is that the real power isn't in waiting for the big feeling. It's in making that first small mark. Right now, you've got the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Tomorrow, when that voice whispers, just skip it today, one day won't hurt, ask yourself this instead. What's the absolute smallest trace I can leave right now just to keep the chain intact?
That's the challenge right there, because you really don't need a perfect day. You just need to avoid putting down a zero. Keep that momentum going. Don't break the chain.